RenderForest.com.
Hi all, this is Trisha Peach, host of the Peach Buzz. I am so sorry I haven't posted in the last couple weeks. I have been really sick with sinus infection, miserable. I know a lot of you were sick around the holidays, but I'm back. I'm feeling much better. In fact, today is my birthday and my parents came over and I'm about to go have dinner with my husband and kids and I'm very excited. But I wanted to talk about New Year's because tomorrow is New Year's and I'm very excited for that. It's always a time of goal setting. Some of you, the minute I say goal setting, you're like, where I was on staff is very important, the goal setting, measurable goals. And the problem is if it's a normal New Year's resolution, we know that those tend to get broken. So how do you have goals that you can reach this next year for yourself and for ministry? Well, for me, number one, you need to have a measurable goal. It needs to be something that you can say, I hit this or I didn't. I write down my goals at the beginning of the year, and then I just did this at the end of the year. I look at the goals that I outlined, and I'm realistic, and I say, you know, I did well on these, but I did not do so well on these. I got maybe 40% of this one, you know, but not this one. And I really believe in that. We have to be honest and say, I hit this one. I got this goal. You know what? I didn't quite make this one. We've got to be honest. And measurable is good because if you say, I want to be more loving next year. Okay, how do we know if you succeed or not? I would put something instead like I want to go do kids ministry at 2 churches that can't pay me. Or I want to go, I want to do a missions trip. Or I want to raise money for the homeless shelter in town. Those would be measurable goals. And you could say, I want to raise this much. 2, you need to talk to somebody about your goals. Usually you need, if you're like me, you need accountability partners, plural, and tell people about your goals. If you're, I'm just switching position here. There we go. Now I can see it better. If you just keep these to yourself, the chances are very big that you will not follow through. But if somebody's going to hold you accountable, that's different. So my goal last year was to get my 3rd book published, and it happened, but a lot of that was I had accountability partners, plural, that would, I asked them to talk to me periodically and say, did you get that to a graphic artist yet? Did you finish the 2nd edit? You know, what's going on? And I actually hired a friend of mine to do the 2nd edit. Hi, Joe. Joe Bridger did a fantastic job. But it kept me going because I got discouraged. I got down. I thought, this is not happening. The book was getting very frustrating. I know I told some of my friends here this, that it wasn't the writing of the book. It's getting it ready for publishing that can be so aggravating, all the little detail stuff. I'm not a detail person. But it happened mainly because those accountability partners were there saying, okay, Trish, you said you were going to have that in by, you know, August 2nd. Where is it? That helped me so much. So number 1, it needs to be measurable. 2, you need accountability partners that are going to call you on it and say, did you get it done? 3, very important, you need to break it down into steps. And for me, that means a day planner. Now, a lot of you, when I have been at your church doing ministry, you laugh because of my day planner. It is a mess. It is like, I write all over it. I get an idea and I write. I go somewhere and I write, and I love my day planner. And I tell people that's my brain. Now, you may use an electronic day planner. My husband uses Google Calendar. He has it remind him of everything. It's wonderful. However, for me, the act of writing it really helps. Any other people that like to write their goals out there, back me up. But I like to write it because then I remember it more. And then what I do, you begin with the end in mind. So I'm thinking next year, in December, next year, at the end of this coming year, what do I want to have done? And then work backwards. So I was saying, okay, if I want that book out by this date, then I need to contact the artist on this date, and I need to have the editor booked by this date, and I need to have, so I'm working backwards to the beginning of the year and putting those mile markers in place. So I have daily mile markers and I have quarterly mile markers all the way back, and I focus on the next mile marker because it can be so overwhelming if you just say, I want to get in shape this year. I read somewhere that 95% of people do not do their New Year's resolutions, but that's not us, right? I would rather try and not quite get there than not try at all. So for, say, a fitness goal, I might say I want to lose this many pounds, and here's how I'm going to do it, and here's the mile markers. This much by this date, this much by this date, this much by this date. I've had to do that instead of just saying I'm going to get more fit this year. That's hard to measure. So I put in some measurable goals and break it down. I do use my day planner every single day. And I'll say, okay, what do I need to do every day to get to that goal at the end of the year? So do I need to write a half of a chapter a day? Do I need to write part of a blog every single day? And I know things get crazier. There's a tragedy happens, or you're traveling, but then I can do double when I get back. It's every single day. I love that quote, you are what you do every day. You are what you do every day. So it comes down to discipline. I think there's a misconception that some people just, all of this falls into their lap. All this success falls into their lap. It's probably hours and days and years and years and years of daily grind, daily discipline, that daily hustle, that they get up and they make it happen, and it's a ridiculous amount of hard work. It makes it look easy. So this coming year, you know, we're talking about what will make those goals into reality. Number one, you need to make them measurable. 2, you need to have accountability partners. 3, you need to break it down into the small steps. So I'm going to give you some of mine for this next year. Okay, I'm not in the middle of a book right now, but I looked at this next year and I thought, at the end of the year, what do I want to say that I did? Well, I want to travel more doing ministry. So I've got those bookings, and then I move it backwards saying, okay, what do I need to have ready 6 months before this camp, or 3 months before this VBS, that kind of thing. I take my day planner out and I back it up, and the more exact and the more detail you give, the better. One of my goals is to be more fit. So I said I want to be size by summer. We'll see. But how am I going to get there? Kickboxing. Love kickboxing. My treadmill, and this is how much I'm going to do every day, and I put it on the calendar for every day, and the discipline to get up and do it every single day. Now for me, I know a lot of you are morning people. I go to kickboxing in the evenings, and I tend to get on my treadmill in the evenings because I'm a night person. So that's just me. Other goals that I do want to publish. I have written probably 12 kids ministry musicals in the past, and I'm thinking I may publish some of those this year, some of my kids ministry musicals for VBSs and community outreach, things like that. And I am writing a volunteer emotional intelligence training for school for my doctorate, and I may publish that as well. So again, then I break it down to the steps, and I tell people about it, have them keep me on track, and I put down the daily steps that I need to take to get there. So it's not, I sit down one day and write this. No, it's every day. You are what you do every day. Every day. So if you want something, then you have to push for that every single day. We are, some people here can relate to this, we are paying for 2 sets of braces right now for 2 teenagers that we have. And it's tight. It is, yikes. Anyone whose kids are in braces right now, you know what I mean. And one of my goals this next year is we're going to pay off some debt so that we can not be so tight to the wall every single time trying to pay for 2 sets of braces at once. So how am I going to get there? It's not going to be magic. It's not going to be, oh, I wish. We're going to have to take steps intentionally to pay that off. By the end of the year, I want to be able to say, whoo, we've paid one of their sets of braces off by the end of the year. That would be so nice. That's where I'm at. Those are some of my big goals for this next year. One of my goals that I'm just being honest with you about is to do better at fasting and prayer. So our church is having fasting and prayer in January, like dawn till dusk, and I want to get better at that. This girl likes to eat. I like food. Food is great, but I want to get better at fasting and prayer. There's a lot in this world that I want to see change, and so I need to get more disciplined with regular times of fasting and prayer. So these are things that I'm working on this year. I challenge you to get some measurable goals, to get some accountability partners that will stand with you and call you on it when you're not getting it done, especially for workouts. Am I right? 3, you need to have daily steps to get toward it and mile markers along the way, or it's just not going to happen. Some others would say too, you probably should get some big, hairy, audacious goals, because if you can do it on your own, and you think you can do it on your own and you don't need God, then your goals are not big enough. If you look at your goals for this next year and say, this is beyond me, this is too much, then you might be getting closer, because you need to have goals that are beyond where you are now if you want to grow. And you need to say, I can't do this without the power of God, because then you know you're getting in the realm of the supernatural. Amen? So for this next year, I love you guys. I want you to comment down below with what some of your goals are, your ministry goals for this next year. What are your ministry goals? What are your family goals? What are your goals for your health? What are your goals? Tell us, because that's just one more form of accountability. You have to tell someone. If you keep it secret, then no one knows if you don't reach it. But I'm asking you, put that goal down there so we can pray for you. I will pray for you. Put those goals down there. We love you guys. Looking forward to a great new year of videos on the Peach Buzz and on the blog. We love you guys. If I can do anything to help with the kids or family ministry at your church, do not hesitate to ask or email me. God bless your new year, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for what you do for Jesus and his kids. Mwah.